Welcome everyone. This is the Masterclass. My name is Patricknazareth. I have around 30 years of teaching experience and I would like to help dispel your doubts should you have any. Today we look at the lesson Thank You Ma'am, written by the author Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was born in 1901 at Missouri in the United States of America. He died in 1967. He was an African American writer and one of the most important voices of the Harlem Renaissance. Basically, it was a cultural movement which emphasized the role and importance of the black artists in the 1920s. What did Hughes write? Poems, short stories, plays, and novels about the lives of working class black African Americans. His writing, simple and musical, using the rhythm of jazz and blues, which was basically the preserve of the African Americans of the day as far as music was concerned. He wrote on everyday people and their struggles, dreams, and dignity. All of us at some point in our lives have done things that we were not supposed to do and have been caught for it. When we expect punishment, if we are treated with kindness, if we are treated with understanding, doesn't it make a difference to us? We hear about a woman. She is walking down the road. It is 11 o'clock at the night. She is holding a large handbag. The author tells us it is such a large handbag that it contains a lot of things except a hammer and nails. He is trying to make a point here that it is very heavy. A boy comes running up, grabs the handbag. When he does so, the strap of the handbag breaks, but it is so heavy that he falls flat on the road. The woman looks at him and without blinking an eye, she kicks him hard, very hard on his backside. And then she holds his shirt and she picks him up off the floor. And then she shakes him. She tells the boy, "Pick up my handbag and give it back to me." She still holds on tight to him, but she bends down herself so that the boy can reach down and give her the handbag. So he does so. She asks him, "Aren't you ashamed of yourself?" And the boy says, "Yes, I am." The woman said, "Why did you try and rob me?" He says, "I did not want to." So the woman tells him, "Do not lie." 2-3 people pass them by. They are wondering curiously what is going on. And the woman asks the boy, "If I turn you loose, will you run?" And this poor boy said yes. Then the lady tells him, "Fine, if you're going to run, I will not let you loose." The boy says he's very sorry. The lady changes track. She says, "Your face is dirty. I think I should wash your face for you. Is there nobody in your house to tell you to wash your face?" And he says, "No, ma'am." So the lady tells him, "This evening, you are going to wash your face." How old was this boy? 14, 15, underfed, undernourished. The author uses the words willow wild to describe him. It tells us that the boy was growing up uncared for, just like weeds grow up uncared for in the garden. The woman said, "You could be my son. I could teach you right from wrong." And she asks him, "Are you hungry?" The boy is terrified. He just wants to be turned loose. The woman asks him, "Was I bothering you when I turned the corner?" He said, "No." "Then why did you try and rob me? And if you think that you can try and rob me and I will allow you to get away with it, you got another thing coming." And she tells him her name. Her name is Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones. The boy is so frightened that he starts sweating and he starts struggling. The woman simply turns him around, grabs him around his neck, and drags him down the street to the place where she lives. She pushes him into the kitchen. She leaves the doors open. He can understand that he's in an apartment house. The other doors are open. He can hear voices. He knows that there are people in and around the apartment. And she asks him, "What is your name?" "Roger," he answers. First thing she tells him, "Go to the sink, wash your face." And the poor boy is left loose. Roger looks at the door. He wants to run. He looks back at the woman. She gives him a towel. "Go wash your face." The boy asks the woman, "Are you going to send me to jail?" She said, "No. Not the way you're looking. I can see you're hungry. Let's eat food first. You look hungry. I myself have been coming home to eat and you try and rob me? It looks like you've not been fed either. Have you?" The boy says, "There's nobody at my house." "Then we'll eat," she says. And she tells him, "I believe that you are hungry or have been hungry, which is why you tried to steal." Roger says, "No, ma'am. I tried to steal because I wanted a pair of blue suede shoes." And Mrs. Jones tells him, "You could have asked me." "Ma'am," he is very surprised. He lifts his face from the sink. His face is dripping with water and he doesn't know what to say. He dried his face and not knowing what else to do, he's like confused. What am I supposed to be doing? He dried it again. He looked at the door. The door is beckoning him. It's asking him to run out. And he thinks, maybe I could make a dash for it. Maybe I could get out. But the woman, she was sitting on the bed. And she said, "When I was young, there were things that I could not get." And she kept quiet. The boy kept on looking at her. Surely she's going to say but, and the woman smiles at him and tells him, I know you're waiting for me to say the word but I'm not going to use it. I have done things in my life that I am ashamed of. Things that I wouldn't even want to tell God. Of course, He knows everything, but I wouldn't like to admit what I have done in front of Him or in front of others. In one corner of the room was a screen. Behind that, there was a gas stove. She goes over and she begins to cook. She stops looking at him. If he wants, the boy could run away. He could take the pocketbook, he could take the handbag and run away with it. But no, he sits in a corner in such a way that she can see what he's doing. He wants her to trust him. He's trying to be of help, so he asks her, would you like me to go to the store? Would you want somebody to go to the store and do your work for you? The woman says, no, I don't need anybody. Unless you want something for yourself like milk, I am going to make cocoa. So the boy is like, yes, fine, no problems. Thank you so much. She had some beans. She took the ham out of the refrigerator. She made the ham, made the beans, made cocoa. They sat down together to a meal. She did not ask him anything, what his parents were doing, where he lived, anything that could embarrass the poor fellow. Instead, she told him about her job, where she worked in a beauty parlor, what the work was like, the types of women who came in and out. Blondes, redhead, brunettes. Brunettes are people with black hair. Blondes are people with yellow hair. Then she gave him some cake. When they had finished their meal, she gave him $10 and she said, go buy your shoes. And remember, if you ever want to buy shoes again with stolen money, don't even think about it, because shoes bought with stolen money tend to hurt you. But I have a wish, please try and behave yourself from now on. She takes him down the hall, opens the door to the street. He walks out. Good night, she says. The boy looks back at her. He doesn't know what to say. He would like to say thank you, ma'am, but all that comes out of him is a barely mumbled thank you. And Mrs. Jones has closed the door by then. Who are the characters in the story? Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones. She's a large, strong woman who works late at nights at a hotel beauty parlor. She's a tough woman, but also kind-hearted. She lives alone by herself in a boarding house. Roger, maybe 14, maybe 15. He is thin, frail. The author calls him Willowile. He's poor. He's got no one at home to look after him. What is he trying to steal for? To get blue suede shoes. If you understand the context, there was a song by Elvis Presley, Blue Suede Shoes, and it had become a big fashionable thing at that particular point of time, which is why he was trying to buy it. Every one of us tries to be fashionable, do we not? The settings, urban America in the 1950s. It's late at night, around 11 p.m., when the boy tries to rob her. The place, basically two places, the city street where she grabs hold of him, and the boarding house, the room where she takes him after she catches him. The literary devices used over here, the dialogue. Most of the story is told in conversation between two of the characters. Imagery, vivid descriptions like his legs flew up and willow wild. Irony, Roger expects punishment but instead receives kindness. Symbolism, the blue suede shoes represents Roger's desire and temptation. Repetition, run, 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 shows us Roger's thoughts. Characterizations, characters are revealed through their actions and words. We realize Mrs. Bates is a strong woman when she grabs hold of Roger and she kicks him on his backside. We realize Roger is a boy who is only neglected because there's no one to tell him to wash his face or even feed him in the house. What are the themes that run through this lesson then? Kindness and compassion. Mrs. Jones shows the boy mercy instead of sending him to jail or getting angry at him. Second chances. Everyone deserves an opportunity to do better. Trust. Mrs. Jones trusts Roger, and that changes the boy. Poverty and desperation. Why does Roger steal? Because he has no money, and there's no one in his house to look after him. Dignity and respect. The way Mrs. Jones treats Roger with respect, despite the crime he tried to commit. Redemption. Every one of us make mistakes. Do we learn from them? If people learn from their mistakes and change, that is redemption. Human connection. One brief encounter can change anybody's life, can change somebody else's life. Empathy. The ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Understanding others because you have struggled too, or perhaps you are aware of the things that they are going through. That's the lesson there for you then. I do hope I have been of help. If I have, do remember to like, subscribe and share. Remember, there are others out there who would need our help. Thank you so much for watching.